All right, Matt, so after our drive on the first hole, we kind of find ourselves, we just carried the bunker here on the right. Kind of got a tough lie here, not a shot you face on the range ever. Tell me what you're thinking. Ball below your feet, branch straight in front of you, so you're going to have to go a little left. What's the game plan here?
Definitely gonna lay up. Usually like to have like 100 yards it in. So yeah, just to lay up back into the fairway.
Yep.
Safe.
So do you know what the tendency is for the ball to do when it's below your feet like this?
It's supposed to go to the right, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out with a little bit of a cut, left to right shape. So you want to aim a little more left of your actual target where you want the ball to end up.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and hit the shot. Get that pre-shot routine in that we've been talking about. See how that kind of cuts off that hill a little more?
Yeah, cut more than I thought.
Yeah, so your divot's good here. If you see your divot, it's pointing to where you're going. It's just kind of maybe a little bit of a cut swing with the lie, kind of overdid it. But you're not in bad shape. Still have a wedge coming in to a par 5. Let's go check it out.
Okay.
All right, Matt, so we're here on the second hole. This is a tee shot a lot of people find a little tricky. Do you ever find yourself kind of struggling off the tee here?
This is one I'm usually pretty comfortable with, but sometimes it does get away from me.
Yeah. So it's easy to do that with the out of bounds left and the water right, water short. But one thing I want to go over here is just kind of the mental game that we talked about. We want to think of this shot as we're going to step up, and the left side of that fairway is going to catch our ball, leave us a number coming in. So what club do you usually hit off the tee here?
I usually hit driver and aim at the bunker. I know that it's not going to go in the water, but I usually do go through the fairway.
Yeah.
But it just kind of eliminates that water play.
So with your distance, why don't we try a 2-iron? That kind of eliminates the bunker and the right miss and kind of gives us something that we can put in play a little more consistent.
Okay.
Remember, routine, make everything normal. Left side of the fairway just catches your shot. Now, let me ask you something. So, rather than hitting driver, hitting that, is that more something you do in a tournament situation, the 2-iron or
Yeah.
the driver?
Yeah, I usually play 2 different games. When I'm playing more for fun, I'll just kind of go for everything. And then in tournaments, I usually play more safe.
So, what are the benefits of creating a game plan and just kind of hammering that down and practicing? What are some of the benefits?
I guess it's easy to fall back on when things go wrong.
Yeah, so it just gets you more used to those kind of situations rather than hitting driver and having 40 yards coming in the tournament where it means something. You're never going to have that, so you'd rather be able to practice and hit. So even when you're playing for fun, not playing for a tournament, practicing the shots that you will be in a tournament just gets you much more comfortable and kind of creates that routine and comfortability out here that you don't get because golf's different every time. But practicing those shots when you're not in tournament will definitely get you more comfortable and ready to shoot those.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so we're here after hitting our iron into the second hole here. So tell me what you feel. What's the number? What's the wind?
So I shot that it was 107. Kind of feels like it's, that it's at our back.
Feels a little down, yeah.
Not much, just a little bit. So 107, I'd probably take off 5 yards and play this like 102, 101.
So one of the things that can relate back to the lesson here, I want you to work on your tempo here. You said your miss is a pull sometimes. There's a lot of green there. You got a scoring club in your hand. Why don't we work on tempo and throw a dart in there?
Okay, sounds good.
Did you get a nice 1, 2, 3 swing? just a little thin. You can tell by the divot here that you just kind of lifted up a little bit, caught it a little thin. That's one thing we can focus more on the post shot, taking a look at our divot, figuring out what went wrong, and it's easier to dissect why and how that went wrong. Alright, so let's go chip it close. Alright, so we found ourselves here in the bunker. Iron shot came up a little short right into the wind, that's fine. We find ourselves with a flat line in the bunker, pins middle front. Take me through your thought process. What are we thinking here?
It looks like it's downhill that I have this hill to work with. So I would try and play something high and hopefully land soft so that it doesn't roll out too far.
All right, so just remember one thing that we worked on in the bunker was keeping your tempo up through the swing. That eliminates kind of the chunk. So you do have some sand to cover before you get there. So let's just focus on keeping that tempo up through the swing and hit it close. Get yourself a chance to par. Very nice. Right now to about 6 feet.
Yep.
Good shot. So after our bunker shot, we find ourselves with about a 5-6 footer. Take me through your process of reading the putt. Do you read it from behind?
I usually
Both
read
sides.
it from behind and then try and read the green to see if there's any effect. It looks like the green's going a little right to left. It seems great.
How far out do you think about playing this?
I don't like to give the hole away too much, so I'm looking like just right on the right edge of the cup. Yep.
And you're gonna hit it decently firm, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like to play that pretty aggressively.
Okay. Was that just a pull, or did it break a little more than you anticipated?
I thought I hit that pretty good. I think maybe it just broke a little more. I didn't hit it nearly as hard as I really wanted to.
Yeah, one thing that you can use to kind of get a better read on the putts is you can kind of look around at the green at the elevation. So we have a high point here, which is why that could have maybe kicked it a little more than you were originally reading. But it was a good putt, good bunker shot, not a bad bogey.
All right, thanks.
Coming in here, we got about 30-35 feet. Tell me how you go about kind of getting ready to hit this, what you look at, and what your major factors are in reading the break and all that.
I try and look for ridges first, just to see if it might like break left or right or downhill. It looks like we have a ridge kind of like right here, so it looks like it's actually going to be a little fast. But typically, it's more just about, I usually focus more on pace, just trying to get it.
That's
to the
exactly what I
hole.
was going to say. Pace is the big thing with lag putts. You can have a line if you hit it 8 feet long, 8 feet short. You still have that tricky putt coming back where if you misread it by a foot or two with perfect pace, it's still a tap in for your par. So go through your routine, read it how you need to, and then go ahead and stroke it.
That's usually the weaker part of my game is that the lag putting.
So one thing that we can do to fix that were the drills that we gave you in the last drill, kind of the subconscious, the without looking, just to kind of get your feel down. But if this is a putt you're going to see 13 times, 11, 12 times around, it's pretty important to hammer this down and kind of practice, because you're not going to hit every iron shot you see to about 4 or 5 feet. You're going to have these putts consistently throughout your whole career. So let's go tap that one in.